All right, what's up, guys? It's Riley, aka Pokemon Trader, and I can't believe I haven't seen anybody talking about this yet. It's something that just started happening on the secondary market, and it's actually mind-boggling. None of the Pokemon YouTubers, investors that I watch are talking about this market movement. And if you guys don't know, or you haven't been paying attention, or your investments are different, what's been happening, especially with my investments, which are primarily Sword and Shield, and primarily booster box cases, they've been going back up. And it's not just a one-off blip, right? That happens from time to time. You get a blip, it goes up and then it comes back down. It's been happening for some of them over the last month. But it's wild that nobody's talking about it, and I can't believe I'm the first one making a video about it. And it's always possible that I'm just wrong and noticing something that is just a dead cat bounce, right? And it's going to keep dropping. I don't see that being the case, though, and only time will tell. So come back in a week, a month, 3 months, and leave a comment if things are not as I'm seeing them going. So if you're unaware, we just went through the past year to 18 months of the biggest bull market boom in cardboard history, at least for Pokemon. It's been absolutely insane. For example, the Lost Origin booster box case that I got about 2 years ago, 18 months, somewhere in that range, I got at MSRP, which Sword and Shield MSRP was 143 or 141, not 163 like Scarlet and Violet era. So I got a case for like $900 or whatever, or maybe even a little bit less. I can't remember exactly. I'll put it up here. But I got that case, and it is now about $4,000 when I got it for, again, about $900. So, and that spans Sword and Shield. Lost Origin is, of course, one of the better sets, like Evolving Skies, like Fusion Strike, right? It's top 3. So it is doing really well. It's one of my best performing investments. But after that boom, we've seen anywhere from a 5 to 20, maybe 25% drop in most booster boxes, especially Scarlet and Violet era, because I think they were quite a bit overhyped, especially for brand new booster boxes. But Sword and Shield saw a pullback as well. And that started happening close to the end of summer is when you first started seeing rumblings of it, right? It wasn't that prices had tanked yet or were dropping, but we started seeing a softening in the market where they weren't selling, right? It wasn't necessarily that prices had come down yet, but it started off with just, all right, now they're just sitting. It's not that they're being bought up and prices are going higher. They're just sitting there and nobody's buying them. And then we started to see the price drops. Well, now there's been enough data, about a month of market data, especially on TCG Player, because it's the best and easiest to track. But I'll put an example up here of Silver Tempest. Okay, so how do I know that there has been a pullback? How do I know that it's increasing from that pullback? Well, 2 ways. The first way that I found out about it was the Collector app, which I am not sponsored by Collector, but it is an amazing app. And I would talk about it even if I wasn't sponsored, which I'm not. I was old school before Collector at first. When it first came onto the scene, I hated it. I thought it was stupid. It was delayed. It wasn't always accurate. And it still has a little bit of that, right? There is a delay, right, for them to log the prices. And then it's not always exactly correct. Sometimes it seems to usually be a little bit low, actually, from what the prices really are. But what I did before was I just had a spreadsheet, right? And I still have the spreadsheet. I'll put a screenshot right here. But that's my spreadsheet. It's got all the release dates, what I have, the quantity, what I paid, and then what it's worth. I haven't updated it in a while since I started using the Collector app about 6 months ago. But I was diehard spreadsheet because I was doing the research myself and I would just update it, and I liked updating it. Then I started using the Collector app. I tried it out, and man, it is probably the single greatest resource for you to use. And again, I'm not sponsored. I just think it's a really good tool. And it's got a little link in there. You can just click it and it'll take you right to the TCG Player listing, and you can see all the actual sales data and what it's available for right now. So on to my first example for this. recent come up is Silver Tempest. Here's the graph for it. And Silver Tempest, this isn't just like, I made a post about this online and people were saying like, oh, it's Christmas money. Yeah, this always happens. Right, that happens. But typically it's for like $100 151 booster bundle, right? Like those kind of things will see an increase, not $3,000 booster box cases. And again, if they're getting Christmas money mid-November, sign me up because this has been happening over the last month and a half, right? If you go back and look at the sales data for Silver Tempest booster box cases on TCG Player, they started selling again after a long softening period where there were not many sales at all, and it started selling again. And today, I hope to post this within 24 hours, but today, there were 5 sales at $3,000 on Silver Tempest booster box cases. There are now none left, last time I checked, below about $3,400. Another example of this is the Evolving Skies booster box and the case. I have a Evolving Skies booster box case that has gone back up like $2,000 to $2,500. More like $3,000 over the last month to 2 months because it dipped pretty hard. But the Evolving Skies booster box, it touched down just below $2,000. There were a couple sales here and there, $19.99 or whatever. Not many, but there were some. And now you can't find any on TCG Player for $2,300. I believe there were still some cheaper than that on eBay, but if things go as they seem to be going, again, this isn't just a one-day event. This isn't just a week. This is something we have been seeing now over the last month and a half. But we just are now having enough data to say, oh, this is a trend, right? This isn't just a one-off. Someone bought, like, I think it was a month or two ago, someone bought like $60,000 in Paldea Evolved regular ETBs. And that was kind of a one-off, right? But this has been happening sustained for expensive Sword and Shield era booster boxes and cases especially over the last month and a half, and it's been consistent. So same thing for Chilling Reign, same thing for Brilliant Stars. Chilling Reign, I don't think there's a case below 4,000 right now. I could be misremembering that price, but all of those cheap cases that we were seeing listed like lower and lower and lower. Evolving Skies had some as low as like 11 to 12,000. Those are all gone. And not only are those gone, those have been bought up, but the more expensive ones are getting bought up. So this is a pretty quick video, but to end the video, what should you do? Well, once you've noticed the trend, it's probably too late on those products. So what do? What I do is I start looking where people haven't looked yet. That's what you have to do. Look in the areas that people haven't necessarily bought out yet. What could be next? My guess would be old SV era booster boxes, cases. If there are cheap versions out there, I haven't even personally looked yet because I'm not really in the market for that right now. I was looking mostly for more Sword and Shield. You could buy those up if you feel confident. And again, always do your own research. Start uploading your stuff to the Collector app. Use TCG Player. And again, I've said this in other videos, but if you don't know, you can't just look at eBay and see the prices. And you can't look at eBay sold prices and just assume that that's what is happening. You have to go to a site like 130point.com, and that will tell you what the exact prices. It scrapes the eBay website and will tell you the exact prices that these boxes and cases are selling for. What else should you do? The only other thing I'd recommend is maybe just wait a bit and see what happens before you go out and panic sell. Just like, oh, things are going back up, sell. I would just wait it out, see how things go. My guess is it'll probably cool off again a little bit, maybe for the beginning of the new year, January, February, and then March, April, we may see it aggressively go up again. Who knows? But that's kind of what it's looking like right now. And I've been kind of in a state of limbo with investing lately. In the past 3 months, at least, I've just been not really buying anything, not really selling a whole lot. I sold off a couple things at the beginning or at the end of the summer, but since then I've kind of been like, I'm not sure what's happening. I can clearly see the market has softened, so I'm just gonna wait, right? If you don't need the money, just hold it. So that's about it, guys. Let me know what you think. I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree, and that's fine. Only time will tell. Of course, I could be wrong. I don't think I am, of course, otherwise I wouldn't be making this video. But it seems like we're seeing some amount of a push back upwards. Again, at least in the Sword and Shield stuff. I think new SV era is not going to see that. Old SV might see it a little bit following Sword and Shield, but only time will tell. So thanks, guys. If you liked the video, leave a comment. I enjoy engaging with you guys, and come back for more. Peace.